Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So check it out. Let me see. Do I got the milk? No, I'm in. So check this out. Numbers tell the story of January 6th, 1 year into prosecution. So last year, if y'all remember, this time we had a bunch of people run up in the Capitol, and we finna figure out what happened. Y'all been wondering what happened. It's been all scattered out. It's been hush hush. We finna go over the numbers right now today on Keep It P Podcast, and this is a multiple Kyle Files. Let's go. Kyle Files. That little laugh he was doing. All right. Y'all know what it is. This is J Lava's Keep It P Podcast, where we take news, situations, everyday occurrences, and indeed we show how one could have and could not have been keeping it P. I am not trying to tell you what to think. I'm trying to show you how to think, which is the reason why I bust down the articles in the way that I do. All right. Let's get on to this because it has a lot of information, but it says more than 700 people charged, 174 guilty pleas, 74 sentences, and an unknown number of cases to go. This is where the sprawling legal efforts stand 1 year later. So as we begin to scroll down, it says 705 people charged. It says judge and defense lawyers have time pushed back, particularly in cases of alleged rioting and held in jail after their arrest, but for the most part, judges have allowed longer time frames. Some of the earliest cases are not only just starting to wrap up. Mark Sutton of Seattle was the first person to face federal charges. He was arrested at the Capitol after punching two officers. He entered a guilty plea in late October due to be sentenced on February 10th. The new cases are still being filed, some rooted in tips from the FBI. Blah, blah, blah. FBI matched the parlor amount to the phone number linked to Overy's, cites that other evidence, and prosecutors filed criminal complaints against him in December 8th. Blah, blah. So they blah, blah, blah. They don't know how many cases there is. Of course, they don't know shit. They'll never know nothing when it's time to talk about what's the real deal. Okay, so they don't know nothing. Okay, boom. And then 174 guilty pleas, but check this out. Right after it, guilty pleas without a deal, only 2. So that means 172 guilty pleas with some sort of kind of deal. See how they do that trickery? 172 guilty pleas. Then they go 2 without a deal. 2 defendants opted to plead guilty to the full slate of the crimes they were charged with instead of making a deal with prosecutors. Pleading guilty often comes with the benefit of having the charges dropped, but defendants give up the certain rights and may decide that they want to work with the government. Oh, so they got people working with the government. It says Antoinette Brado, a Virginia-based rapper known as Bugsy the Don, pleaded guilty to a set of misdemeanors for illegally going into the Capitol. He was, hold on. Let me Google this dude. Is he black or white? Hold on. Hold it, guys. We're doing some investigation right now. I need to see right now. Who is this guy? Wait a minute. Well, okay. Well, I see why, goof ass nigga. This goof ass got his down. See, now let this be a lesson to you. Let this be a lesson to you. You got your goof ass down there trying to look, he looked like a little Republican trying to capitalize. I bet you if I heard this dude's rap, his whole he looking like he does not have bars. He don't. He ain't got them. Sorry. All right. Moving right along. 74 sentences: probation, incarceration, home detention, financial penalties, community service, social media limits. The sentences handed down so far have largely reflected the nature of the crime featured in the first wave of plea deals. They do not reflect the nature of the crime if you're talking about home detention and probation and community service and social media limits. They literally stormed the capital of the United States of America. Come on. Anyway, goes on to say, even in misdemeanor cases, there's a lack of consensus among judges about what just punishment looks like for joining the insurrection. The small number of writers who plead guilty to more serious crimes like assaulting police officers and obstructing Congress stare down far more time behind bars, setting the stage for a higher stakes sentencing hearings in the years as more felony cases slowly start to revolve. Longest prison term, 63 months. I think that is BS. I think if you're doing treason against the government, I think that should be at least 10, 15 years. I mean, you breathe on a police dog hard enough and you gonna get your 10, 15 years. Says the first sentences come across the 5-year mark when they went to Robert Palmer. 5-year mark went to Robert Palmer of Florida. He pled guilty to repeatedly attacking a police officer outside the Capitol using a fire extinguisher and a wooden plank. So that's all you get? That's what I was just talking about. So that's, see, y'all, white supremacy WS don't exist. White privilege don't exist. Cuz should be gone. If you got convicted in that, you should be out of here. 20 years. Lightest sentence, 2 months probation. I wonder how many people got that. See, this is the trickery about the article too. They throw too much probation out there as if just a few people got it. It's a lot of people that probably got 2 months probation, trust me. Once incarcerated is off the table, what makes for a harsher or a lighter sentence can be up to the debate. Probation means resuming normal life with some conditions and restrictions. Danielle Doyle, whose former co-worker at the Oklahoma City Thunder, reportedly told the FBI, pleading guilty to pardoning a misdemeanor and receiving a shortest sentence of probation to date, 2 months. Most probation terms are ranged from 1 year to 3 years. U.S. Judge Trevor McFadden also ordered Danielle to pay $3,000 fine, a penalty that the government hadn't asked for. So, several judges have added financial consequences in the mix, and some are saying that it might be more effective than a short stint in jail to make rioters feel some hurt. Now, when have they ever said that a black person should pay some money to get out of jail, and that it would actually be a smaller stint? Get out of here with that bull swaggle. The amount of money rioters owe to the government. As a part of nearly a plea deal entered to the date, defendants are agreeing to pay restitution to the feds. $500 for a misdemeanor plea and between $1,000 and $2,000 for a felony plea? For real? Boy, they just getting off, man. Wow. 9 people who cooperated. Now that's 9 people who ain't on code with the group. I wonder what wrongs happened to them. The government cooperation included 4 members from the Oath Keepers. Oh, and they putting them out there. Now notice this. Now notice, like, you know, if some, you already know the parallels, but they're making sure to put them and their names and their groups out here so you know who was off code. The government corroboration includes 4 members of the Oath Keepers conspiracy case and Schaefer Matthews Green of New York, charged in one of the Proud Boys conspiracy cases. Gina Bilzgano, a Beverly Hills salon owner who recorded video of her experience entering the Capitol. Keller, the former Olympian. Josiah Coate of Idaho, who traveled to D.C. with several co-defendants whose cases are pending. Another 101 defendant who took a plea. See why they didn't say that person? Another 101 defendant. See, that's what I'm saying. Who took a plea deal to agree to the type of partial cooperation, submitting for a final interview and giving investigators the last look at their social media posts and any photos or videos on their phone. Defendants barred from profiting. So only one. So and I bet you that was the black dude. John Adams of Florida was captured in a viral video photo smiling and waving as he carried a lectern, and the Speaker of the House is sealed through the rotunda. But his guilty plea was notable for the reasons prosecutor learned that Johnson had expressed plans to write a book about his experience at the Capitol, in the government's word, to potential to profit off illegal conduct. On January 6th, he became the first defendant who had to agree to a provision in his deal that he would not give feds any money, that he earned from the content that he produced related to the January 6th for 5 years. Oh, so he only gets to see, that's even some bullshit. He don't get full out ban. It's only like for 5 years. Stop it. Defendants challenging their sentence. Well, you already know white supremacy is going to do that. 98 people charged with using or carrying weapons. And there's not more felony or more time. People charged with assaulting cops. So there should be at least 164 people with 10 or 15 year sentences, but yet the longest one, if y'all recall, was only 65 months. Let that sink in for just a second. People charged with conspiracy, 54. So if they're charged with 54 and everybody is a part of the conspiracy, everybody that got charged, it should be 700 conspiracy charges, and they should have all been charged as a blanketed ass group, and they should have dropped the hammer down on their ass. But y'all know what this is. This is Dub S at his finest. Well, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna mold you, fold you, and scold you about being on code. I just wanted to break down these numbers for y'all. I hope this get you mad, get you upset. What you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do about it? Anyway, hold on. What's up, bro Hamsky? Hello? I can't hear you, buddy, because you got the mute button on. Anyway, that was Mr. Von Savage. That's why I answered the phone, in case he wanted to say something to the people. But you know my slogan, and you know what I do. So love, peace, blessings, and maloha to you, and be one. Hello.
I told you motherfucker I got your money yet, man. Fuck you, man. You ain't got the money yet. Fuck you think you is, man. Motherfucking Ron O'Neal or something. What you gonna do? You supposed to be scared now because you got a pistol, motherfucker.
I got the PayPal, Cash App, Sally, Chime.
Look, I don't play with this shit. You don't even know what I gave to this shit. Self-made with this shit. I'm a slave with this shit. Been a lot of roads I done paved with this shit. Look, see, I don't play with this shit. You don't even know what I gave to this shit.
Kyrie with the give and go. I get it cheap for the low. More snow than the Eskimo big birdies. Taking flight, change your life in one night. By 2 a.m. if you do it right. Up late like nigga night. Small fish, big appetite. Get an extra 4 if you whip it right. Got good gas and it's light bright. Got big balls and a good pipe. One call it this night. Drake go.
He been hula hooping through loopholes, working round shit. You can count lava down, but you can't count them out, baby.
misconceptions. You thought
Life give me lemons, I make lemon rain. God.
Moving through loopholes, working round shit. All of your misconceptions, you thought I would miss my blessings.
Serious.
All of your misconceptions, you thought
I gotta go, gotta hustle to get it. If you ain't talking business, little shawty, you trippin'. I gotta go, I really ain't got time. You can holler at me later, shawty, bang my line.
Hey Riri. Hey Rihanna, hey girl, how you doing? I'm into you like Trump's in the Putin. I know that might sound a little confusing. I had to say it for my own amusement. What I'm trying to say is, can we go cruising? Top down, blow some good gas, and listen to Blueprint. Maybe do something stupid. I guess that depends on Q.
Brushy cream, leaves, Keith, oil, premium bud. Man, I hustle in the street, but I'm a freak with the love.
bring that ass over, tryna bring it back. I'm a big dog, tryna bring it back. I'ma slide in the way to bring it back. Let a nigga tap, tryna bring it back. Tryna bring it back. Tryna bring it back.
Yeah, I can now. B1 to you, Nix. I see you. Where you tapping in from, Nix? Don't think I ain't got my eyes on you. I got my eyes on you, boy. Where you tapping in from?
All I wanna do is see you get down. All I wanna do is see you move it. All I wanna do is see you get down. 2 steps.
Music TV. Music